Good morning, welcome to Southwest Florida winter season, I guess you can say. My name is David. I am the owner and operator of David Palmer's Lawn Care Service. And today we're going to go ahead and install a micro irrigation. I recently installed a plants for a client about 2 weeks ago, and we put some manuals in there. Micro irrigation does is allow us to water those plants on a frequent schedule and not relying on the community irrigation, especially when it's not independent per home. It is a communal system. The beauty about these micro irrigations is that they're small, easy to install. Do them, adjust them depending on what she decides to do to change any design plants within the landscape area. Where I purchased mine was at Lowe's, and a lot of the stuff that's there, they come in kits, or you can buy them individually to design the system that best fits your particular needs. Let's take a quick overview of what the area I'm going to do. That way she does not have to lug a water hose around in order to water her plants. To get the irrigation tubing from here is we're going to use this bed line, and we're going to hide it against the wall behind, and we're going to use stakes to put the tubing. We're going to move these rocks out the way and place the tubing underneath and replace it with the rocks. What we're going to have to do here is we're going to have to replace that. So I did buy an extension to get it away from the wall, and then a splitter, so that way she can continue to use her hose as well as to be able to use the clock. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look. There is some tubing here and the tubing here. The kit comes with 50 feet. I bought an extra feet because of the distance I'm going to need. Or the kit that I bought, it's a micro sprinkler landscape shrub kit. Plus I got a clock, the extensions for the hose bib to get it away from the wall, some stakes in order to hold the tubing down, and additional small micro tubing for the sprinkler system. Now the cool thing about this kit is it does come with pretty much a lot of the stuff already. I may need more than what the kit offers, so before you buy anything, it's always good to plan what you're going to put in, how you're going to put it in, and what you're going to need. Make a list of it, so that when you go to the store, you make one trip, you buy it. It's a really good project, a weekend project for a do-it-yourselfer, as well as for landscape companies to do that help fill in the blanks during the winter season. Let's go ahead and get to it. Let's go ahead and start the project here. Here's what we did. So I went on ahead, I put this elbow in, and then I went on ahead and divided that spout. That way the homeowner can still use her water hose. Now there is going to be one issue that we're going to have, is if you look here, I know it's kind of hard to see, there is a rubber grommet type inside these holes. The clock has, as you can see, a screen. What that screen is for is so that debris does not go inside the clock and messing up the mechanisms and the gears that's inside this clock. So what I normally do is I take this piece out and I flip it upside down back inside the clock, so that way I still have the screen. Now worst case scenario, if I have to get rid of it, I normally will pull that out and put it on there without it. Try not to do that, but push come to shove, if you have to, that is an alternative that you can do to make sure that this sits in there good. You will want to have a grate seal so that water does not leak, because this will remain on constantly. All right, so let's go ahead and flip this around and see if it goes on there with no problem. So we're going to pull this out. They usually come out pretty good, or pretty easy. If you have to use a screwdriver or something to pull it out, that's fine. Try not to bend it. There's the screen. We're going to go ahead, flip it around, make sure that it's seated in there really good so that it does not leak. Okay, so what I did is I went on ahead and I took off this piece. I didn't like the way it stuck out too far, so I went on ahead, changed it around. The reason why I did that is when we connect the tubing will go straight down this way. without a bend. Now I know they do sell 90s and so forth like that, but I try to minimize too many joints or connection points so that way you don't have any leaks. The water hose around this way. This will be on, this will be off. That way there's always continuous water for this. Once we're all done, we'll go on ahead and we'll program the system and test it. So the next thing to do, we're going to put on is the backflow valve, just so that maintains pressure and there's no water going backwards. Of course, and then the connection for the tubing. So here goes the check valve. I'll put that in there first. This goes in here, and then the tubing snaps in there, which will thread it onto the new tubing. What you're going to do is, this sleeve here is all the way up. You slide the tubing inside there, get seated in there really good, and then this piece you screw downward. You just keep turning like you're screwing it on there, and what that does is that pinches the tubing inside so it does not leak. Next thing to do now is to connect it here, and then we run the tubing all the way down the line of the house to get it to the front. Okay, so you can see we ran out of tubing to get there. There's where the other 50 feet of tubing come in. We're going to go ahead and connect these two pieces together. How we're going to do that is we're going to use this coupling here. And then we turn this. There, that should be a good seal right there. And that's what it looks like. So as you can see, it's probably hard to see with the shades in here with the tubing. I dug a small trench. We're going to go ahead and we're going to mulch this area anyways. As you can see the stakes that are inside there are on top of the tubing to keep them down. There we go. Okay, so I went ahead and put the sprayers down just to get a general idea how I want them to be. If you look right here, one there, one there, one there. I did have to buy an extra sprayer just in case. One there, one there, one there. I bought green vinyl tubing with couplers and stuff like that. That way I can extend from these sprayers to the tubing. Connect that tubing to here, and then we run it there. So there's a connection. We're gone ahead and just put the tubing onto that. Follow the trail to where we're going to put it at, and then we connect it to the tube. If you look right here, this is what the connection looks like. And how do you do that? Pretty simple. Puncture it with this tool that's in the kit. You put this coupling on the end of the tube that comes from the sprayer. Okay, if you look here, you put that coupling on there, and you're good. The good thing about this is if you make a mistake or you need to make a changes, this kit comes with plugs. So you just take this out, you grab a plug, you plug the hole up, and you're good to go, and you can move the tubing wherever you need to. All right, I did almost forget to do something, which is really important, which comes in the kit. Here's the important part. This is the piece that's important. You have to plug the end. What you're going to do is you're going to cut the end, you're going to bend it, you'll slide this piece in first, you'll bend the tube and slide it back this way. This obviously keeps the water from going through and maintaining the pressure. Also, the good thing about it is if you need to add more tubing down the line, pull it out, you add the tubing, and you put this at the other end again. So again, slide it on there like this, right? You find the point where it's easy to bend. There's no particular distance, and basically push it through there like that. Then you slide it back up. That's all there is to it. Believe it or not, this keeps the water from coming through. This is all that it takes. Of course, we secure it back down, and we're going to fire the system up. the sprayers are working fine. Beautiful. It's watering the plants. We may not need 30 minutes. We can probably get away with 15 minutes, but we want enough so that they get plenty of water. There you go. You notice that everything is working well. We don't have any leaks coming on, and we can go on ahead and start wrapping this project up. I hope you enjoyed this do-it-yourself project. Easy to do. Again, for landscapers, homeowners, anybody can do this. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. You don't need a degree. It's really easy to do. Leave any comments down below. If you have any questions or anything else, please feel free to let me know how to go ahead and follow and like the projects. All right, you guys have a great one. See you on the next job.